receptions with 1,549, receiving yards with 22,895, 1,000-yard receiving seasons with 14, and total touchdowns with 208, by leading all three main categories with 100 receptions for 1,502 yards and 13 touchdowns.
Wow.
Realistically, Rice couldn't have scripted his first 6 seasons any better. He
Oh
already
my
had
God.
enough accomplishments to last an entire career.
Bro, he had a Hall of Fame career in his first 6 seasons. That's impressive, bro. I'm speechless, bro. From what I'm seeing, he's the GOAT receiver. I haven't seen numbers like that. How good was Jerry Rice actually? Groovy tapping in. Welcome back to another vid. Now, when we talking GOAT receivers, Jerry Rice's name is always getting brought up. And I'm gonna be honest, I don't know why. Now, I respect it because most former NFL players, when you ask them who is on a Mount Rushmore as far as receivers, majority of them gonna put Jerry Rice up there. Now, me being younger, I just want to see, what did he do in the league? How many Super Bowls did he win? How many 1,000-yard seasons did he have? You know what I mean? Like, what was his highest receiving yards in the game? How many career touchdowns did he have? Or how many Pro Bowl selections did he have? You know what I mean? I'm just trying to see what his resume looking like, just so I can solidify in my head that he one of the greatest receivers of all time. And in the comments down below, where do y'all got Jerry Rice in y'all all-time receiver list? Y'all let me know in the comments, man.
What goals have you set for yourself? Number one, I would like to be the all-time receiver.
If fate hadn't intervened,
That's
he
how he
would never
coming?
have played organized football. You went to a college you've never heard of, and yet you went on to live in the end zone on Sundays and atop the NFL record books forever. So, just how good was Jerry Rice actually?
Okay, I like the
While most
mindset.
future NFL players spent countless nights as a kid dreaming about making it to the league, that was the furthest thing from Rice's mind. Growing up in a Mississippi town with a population
Mississippi
of just
boy.
600 people, he was the 6th of 8 children.
I think growing up in Crawford, Mississippi is just like all family. Everybody, they were very close.
With 8 kids to provide for, Rice's parents had to work nonstop to just put food on the table.
Ooh,
Mrs.
wee.
Rice would clean the houses of rich families, while Mr. Rice was a bricklayer, in addition
Okay.
to a handful of other random jobs. In an effort to chip in, Jerry and his brothers would often pick corn, cotton, carrots, and bale hay.
Well,
Oh, wow.
it was very tight, but I think it taught us the meaning of hard work and
Yeah.
dedication.
Definitely.
We didn't have everything, and we had to wait out our turn for clothes, for everything.
By the
Okay,
time he was
okay.
in high school, Rice's focus was so far from one day making the NFL that he still hadn't even played organized football. He loved
What?
playing it outside with friends and watching it on TV, but his mother thought that it was too rough for him to join his school's team.
Oh,
Then,
okay.
on one random school day, Rice was doing something he shouldn't have been, and everything changed. His school's assistant principal caught him and a friend skipping class. So
No.
Rice fled the scene like his life depended on it. The assistant principal was so blown away by Rice's speed that he told the football coach about it. The coach immediately offered Rice a spot on the team, but there was a problem. His mother still didn't want him to play. However, the more she fought it, the more her son was determined to make it happen. So she eventually gave in, and Rice's football playing career was officially set to begin.
After
Okay.
I got disciplined, then the principal wanted me to go out for the football team, and I
Were you
fell in
great
love
right
with it.
away?
No, not at all.
Every day that summer,
That's a funny way to get introduced to football, bro. This man got in trouble, ran away from the assistant principal, and then the principal was like, you know what? I'm finna go ahead and tell the coach about this dude. He fast as hell. That's funny.
at 7
Not gonna
a.m.,
lie.
he and one of his brothers joined his father laying bricks for 8-hour shifts on scorching hot days. Jerry said, my brother and I, we had developed this technique where you throw the bricks up, they were separated, and I was snatching them in the air.
Nah, he was doing 8-hour shift laying bricks? Oh my God. Nah, talk about hard work, though. I see where he got the hard work from. That's his upbringing right there, boy. He had to work for everything that he got.
Doing this over and over again sharpened Jerry's hand-eye coordination and increased his hand strength.
Wow.
He also said the experience taught him the true meaning of hard work.
We had a responsibility.
Hand-eye
and we had to live up to it.
coordination.
We had to help generate and bring money into the house.
And as if those daily grueling shifts weren't enough, after work, Rice would get dropped off for a 2-hour football practice. And once
Right
that
after
was over,
work?
He'd then run 5 miles to get home.
5 miles to get home?
Gifted or talented player on the team, but he had
Hold
something.
up. So he was laying bricks for 8 hours, then go to football practice for 2 hours, and then have to run 5 miles back to the crib? What? He different, bruh. Ain't no way I'm doing that.
That none of his teammates did, an appreciation for and a love of hard work. By the start of his junior season, Rice was in unbelievable physical shape and ready to finally show the world what he could do on the gridiron.
I
He
bet.
played on both sides of the ball as a wide receiver and defensive back. But
Okay.
because his school was so small, most of his stats weren't officially recorded. According
Ah.
to a sports journalist from back then, Rice, as a senior, caught 50 passes for 30 touchdowns. But whatever the actual numbers,
God.
he did enough to earn
Damn.
himself a Mississippi All-State selection and attention from major colleges. Over 40 D1 schools contacted Rice, including his dream school of Mississippi State University. But none of them
Wow.
believed in him enough to offer a scholarship. The only program that did that was Mississippi Valley State, a Division I AA school.
Okay.
Reflecting on why he eventually committed to them, Rice said, Mississippi Valley sent up a coach and I had a chance to have a conversation with him and shake his hand. That goes a long, long way towards making you feel you can really trust someone. Rice also
Definitely.
explained, at the time they were also throwing the ball about 90% of the time, so it was a great opportunity for me. They assured me that the ball was going to be in the air, coming my way, and then it was up to me to prove to everyone that I could be a professional athlete. He arrived
Wow.
on campus eager to prove Mississippi Valley right for believing in him. As a freshman, he caught 30 passes for 428 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Not
Rice
bad.
followed this up the next season by catching 66 passes for 1,133 yards and 7 touchdowns.
Ooh,
A
okay.
very solid start to his collegiate career. Playing at such a small program, Rice knew that he would have to put up eye-popping numbers to get the attention of teams and scouts at the next level.
Definitely.
His junior season would most likely make or break his chances at going pro. The task was even tougher for him than people realized. As he said, the food given to him at school was not enough for a growing man. Times were so hard for Rice that he often had to rely on his friends for food. But this lack of
That's
nourishment
tough.
never stopped Rice from getting in extra work with his quarterback. The duo became inseparable as they would get in hours of additional reps together late at night. That
Nice.
season, their chemistry on the field was impossible to miss. Rice
Hard
set
work paying
NCAA
off.
records for most receptions with 102 and receiving yards with 1,450 on his way to being an All-American. Just in
Hold
case
on.
that didn't send a loud
102
enough message
receptions?
to the NFL, Rice somehow managed to take his game to another level as a senior. He broke both of his records with 103 receptions for 1,682 yards and set another one with 27 receiving touchdowns.
Damn,
Having been named
27
an All-American
TDs?
Again, Rice shattered every Mississippi Valley receiving record, finishing for 301 receptions for 4,693 yards and 50 touchdowns.
That's a
During his
solid
collegiate
career.
He broke 18 NCAA records.
Wow.
It didn't matter what school he played at. There was simply no debate
Crazy.
that Jerry Rice belonged in the NFL.
Yeah.
Legendary 49ers coach Bill Walsh fell in love with him watching his college highlights. Walsh's team was coming off 2 Super Bowl victories in the previous 4 seasons, and he believed Rice would keep them at the top. Walsh described him as a swift, smooth player who's got great instincts running with the ball, going to the ball, and catching in a crowd. This analysis inspired San Francisco to get aggressive on draft day and trade their first, second, and third round picks for New England's first and third round picks. So with the 16th pick of the 1985 draft, the 49ers did something Rice never thought would happen. They drafted him.
San Francisco 49ers select 16th pick in the first round. Wide receiver, Jerry Rice.
He went
Mississippi
first
Valley.
Years
round.
later, he admitted, to be honest, I never thought I was going to get drafted. Heading into his rookie season, Rice was determined to reward
They must
the
have really
49ers
believed
for
in him.
taking a chance on him. He also wanted to show everyone that he belonged in the league, and his insane college numbers weren't just the product of poor competition. But
Yeah.
what ended up happening was Rice was putting too much pressure on himself. In his first 13 games, he only had 28 receptions for 493 yards and 2 touchdowns. Looking back on this slow start, Rice said, I think I wanted to prove myself so much that I overdid it. I was dropping footballs, and then the media got down on me, and the fans started booing me. While this treatment would have caused some players to spiral out of control,
Yep.
it was a wake-up call for Rice. He tapped into his old ways by becoming the first player on the field for practice and the last one to leave. And everything came together in Week 14 against the Rams, when Rice exploded for 10 receptions, 241 yards, and a touchdown. 2 weeks later, in the regular season
240?
finale, he had 7 receptions for 111 yards, bringing
Nice.
CBS announcer Pat Summerall to boldly declare,
He is going to be a great receiver. Barring injury, he's going to be one of the best to ever play.
it was Nick
I'm gonna be honest, bro. Let's mention and talk about the fact how Jerry Rice bounced back after that rough start. Most players, to put that much pressure on them and come in and fill in a spot on a championship roster, would have folded. A lot of these athletes are mentally weak. They can't handle pressure. But with Jerry Rice, he didn't let it faze him. It's like he always go back to the drawing board, man. Even back when he had that rough start at Mississippi Valley, he got reps in with his quarterback. And that following season, he went crazy. And same with now in the pros. He got back in the lab, worked on his craft, then he come out with 2 explosive games. But it all goes back to how he grew up, man. His parents installed hard work from the beginning. He different, bro.
Extremely strong finish to his rookie campaign and generated a ton of buzz ahead of year 2. Everyone was anxious to see whether it was a fluke or a sign of things to come. The 1986 season would provide an emphatic answer to that question. Rice went out and led the league in receiving yards with 1,570.
Wow.
Receptions with 15.
Woo! Hold on. Let's slow down real quick. He did what in his second season?
Rice went out and led the league in receiving yards with 1,570 and touchdown receptions with 15.
Wow.
Flashes of brilliance, as there seemed
in
to
his
be
second
nothing
year?
he couldn't do. Rice had the ability to catch a short pass and then make defenders miss, beat them deep with his speed and route running, or out-jump defenders to win contested balls. As a first-team All-Pro, he was now filled with confidence.
First-team All-Pro, second season.
With what was possibly the greatest season ever by a receiver. In the strike-shortened 87 season, Rice managed to rack up 1,078 yards and a league record 22 receiving touchdowns in just 12 games.
Woo!
To this day, the league record is only 23 receiving touchdowns, which Randy Moss did in 16 games. Rice had officially established himself as one of the next faces of the league and was named Offensive Player of the Year, becoming the first wide receiver to ever take home the award.
Wow, okay.
With a handful of personal accolades, the only thing missing was team success. And in 1988,
He
Rice set out
different.
to check that box off. He put together another dominant regular season, which was good enough for his third straight first-team All-Pro nomination. That
Third
postseason, he
straight
put San
first-team
Francisco
All-Pro?
on his back and helped them to a Super Bowl appearance with 10 receptions for 194 yards and 5 touchdowns in the team's 2 wins. Then, on the
That's
game's
tough.
biggest stage, Rice etched his name into NFL history. While leading the 49ers to another ring, and his first, he set 2 Super Bowl records with
What?
11 receptions for 215 yards.
Ooh, hold up. He did what in the Super Bowl? This man caught 11 passes for 215 yards in the Super Bowl? He different. Bro, most players shy away in moments like that. The great ones embrace all that pressure and perform at the highest level. And he did what? Run that back, bro.
And his first, he set 2 Super Bowl records with 11 receptions for 215 yards.
Oh my God. He different.
Rice becoming just the 3rd wide receiver ever to be named Super Bowl MVP, capped off one
Wow.
of the most dominant postseason stretches ever by a receiver.
Super
Feeling
Bowl
on top of the
MVP.
world, things somehow only got better for him. The following season, Rice led the league in receiving yards and touchdowns with 1,483 and 17 before
Again?
winning his second ring. And again,
Another
he rose to
ring?
the occasion in the Super Bowl with 7 receptions for 148 yards and 3 touchdowns.
In the Super Bowl? Bro, he's putting up crazy numbers in the Super Bowl, y'all.
In the Super Bowl,
Look at
with
this.
7 receptions for 148
A
yards.
buck
and
48?
3 touchdowns.
3
In
tuds?
1990, Rice won the league.
He is the offense.
Crown for receiving by leading all 3 main categories with 100 receptions for 1,502 yards and 13 touchdowns.
Wow.
Realistically, Rice couldn't have scripted his first 6 seasons any better. He
Oh
already
my
had
God.
enough accomplishments to last an entire career.
Bro, he had a Hall of Fame career in his first 6 seasons. That's impressive, bro. Good God. I'm speechless, bro. I guess he is the GOAT receiver. From what I'm seeing, he's the GOAT receiver. I haven't seen numbers like that. This man is the offense. Can't nobody stop this man, bro.
Point, it was just accepted that Rice was unguardable. No matter what scheme an opposing defense concocted, he was going to get open.
Wow.
Over the next 4 seasons, Rice only continued his reign of terror on opposing
Oh my
defenses.
God.
During that stretch, he amassed a staggering 374 receptions for 5,409 yards and 52 touchdowns.
Oh my
leading the league in
God.
receiving yards and touchdowns twice, respectively, and adding another Offensive Player of the Year award. And to cap it off in 1994, Rice brought home his 3rd ring while making
3
more
rings?
history. Just as he had done in his first 2 Super Bowls, Rice made it look like he was playing against a JV team. He finished with 10 receptions for 149 yards and 3 touchdowns.
Oh my
This took
God.
his combined totals in that particular game to historic levels.
He's
As his
different.
28 receptions for 512 yards and 7 touchdowns.
He's
were all
different.
Career Super Bowl records. As people seem to take Rice's greatness for granted at this point, it would take him doing something truly special to surprise anyone. And
Nah, I'm gonna give him his flowers right here, bro. This is the greatest of all time, bro. I'm gonna just go ahead and solidify it right now, bro. This is the greatest receiver of all time. Nobody has ever put up the type of numbers he's putting up in the regular season, the playoffs, and the Super Bowl. He's breaking records in the Super Bowl, y'all.
that's exactly what he did during the
Oh, he
95
breaking
season.
ankles? Hold up.
Special to
Look at
surprise
this.
anyone, and that's exactly what he
Skirt,
did
come
in
here.
the 95 season.
Wow.
As he set a league record for most receiving yards in a single season with 1,800. It
Damn.
wasn't until 1997 at 35
1,800?
years old when Rice started to look human for the first time since his rookie season. In the 49ers season opener, he tore his ACL and MCL. As unbelievable as this sounds, Rice up until that point had never missed a game throughout high school, college, or the NFL.
What?
And while this
He was
injury
that
should have
durable?
forced him to miss the entire season, Rice ignored doctor's orders so that he could return in time for Joe Montana's jersey retirement. In that Week 16 game, Rice electrified the crowd by catching a touchdown in his return. However,
Wow.
there was a cruel twist. As he came down with the ball, he cracked his left patella. This
No.
time, his season was officially over. Coming off these serious injuries, people began to wonder how much he had left in the tank. And heading into his 14th season at the age of 36, this speculation was more than fair. But
Wow.
if anyone could find their way back, it would be Rice, the workhorse. He grinded all offseason, rehabbing his knee and trying to regain his form.
Yeah.
In yet another chapter where Rice defies all logic, he went out and became the oldest receiver ever to record a 1,000-yard season. He followed this up with 2 more solid seasons before the unthinkable happened.
Wow.
Having suffered 2 consecutive losing seasons, the 49ers decided it was time for a rebuild and said goodbye to the longtime face of their franchise. After being released in the 2001 offseason, Rice signed with the Raiders.
Okay.
Now 39 years old, with 16 seasons under his belt, he should have been running on empty. Instead, Rice managed to do things that only he could do. He put together back-to-back 1,000-yard campaigns.
What?
And led the Raiders to their first Super Bowl appearance in nearly 20 years.
At 39? That's crazy, bro.
That is crazy to play for such a long time. I had conditioned my body in a way that I could play for a long time.
But for the first time in his career,
Wow.
Rice came up short in the big game. Despite his 77 yards and a touchdown, the Raiders lost to the Buccaneers. That
He
season,
still put
he
up
was
good
named an
numbers.
All-Pro and Pro Bowler at 40 years old.
Wow,
An
at
unprecedented
40?
accomplishment for a wide receiver. After a frustrating 2003 season and
He's
start to
different.
2004, Rice demanded a trade. 6 games into that year, he went to Seattle in exchange for a 7th-round pick. But Rice couldn't really find his footing there and left during the following offseason. to sign
He
with the
getting passed
Broncos.
around
However,
now.
He never wound up playing a snap for Denver and retired prior to the start of the 2005 season.
I'm done. I'm looking forward to the next phase of my life now.
On his way to being named
Wow.
first-team All-Pro 10 times, Rice led the league in receiving yards and touchdowns 6 times respectively.
That's
And when it was all said
crazy.
and done, he owned virtually every significant NFL receiving record.
Wow.
Some of the more notable career ones were receptions with 1,549, receiving yards with 22,895, 1,000-yard receiving seasons with 14, and total touchdowns with 208. To this
14
day, Rice
1K
still owns NFL
seasons?
records for most career receptions, receiving yards, and touchdowns. Nobody has even come close to some of these, with Rice having over 5,000 more yards than the next
nobody
closest
catching him.
and 41 more touchdowns.
Wow.
From the eye test to his individual records to his team's
He the
success,
GOAT, y'all.
There is no debating Jerry Rice as the greatest wide receiver
Yeah, he the
of all
GOAT.
time, nor his spot on football's Mount Rushmore for
He's the
all
GOAT.
players, regardless of position.
He's the GOAT. Yeah, y'all, this the GOAT right here, y'all. GOAT receiver, already solidified. I don't care what y'all talking about in the comments. Yeah, this the GOAT. I don't see nobody catching up to him in all-time receiving yards, all-time receptions. This man got every record, y'all. Oh my God, bro. And then this man consistency is crazy, bro. But it all goes back to his hard work as a kid. Yeah, he's a workhorse, unbelievable talent. He could do everything on the field. He got the speed. He can moss you. You know, he could break your ankles. Great route runner. Yeah, this man the whole package, man. The greatest receiver of all time. Nobody's gonna be better than him. In the comments down below, man, y'all let me know what y'all think about this video right here. I ain't know Jerry Rice was like this. He definitely one of them ones. If you like the reaction, man, hit the like button. Comment down below any videos y'all want me to react to next. And last but not least, subscribe to the channel if you new. Groovy signing out. I'm gonna catch y'all in the next one.